Hello folks, it's Abfielder here with a brand new skeleton farm for Minecraft 1.19. This thing when fully built will chuck out over 20,000 bones per hour. That's over 60,000 bone meal, as well as 20,000 arrows, and you'll get a small number of ender pearls as well. All that and not a single bit of redstone is required. Now the negative is it requires a decent amount of obsidian. So what makes this farm possible? Well, in 1.19, Mojang decided to change the light level at which mobs can spawn in the nether. Mobs will now spawn at any light level 11 or below. Coincidentally, this is the light level created by portals. So we can take advantage of this and make an incredibly simple modular farm that produces tons and tons of stuff and requires absolutely no redstone. If we jump into the nether here, we can see the other side of it. Let's just get out of here. It's one big gigantic box, so it's incredibly simple to build, and you can build it up stage by stage. You haven't got to go out and get all this obsidian in one go. I will try and answer any of what I think will be the most likely asked questions at the end of this video, so make sure you watch that if you've got any questions. Before we jump into the tutorial, just a couple of quick reminders. If you want a fun, free to play on Minecraft SMP, then come join Abcraft. Join my Discord, let us know your Minecraft username, and we'll get you whitelisted. Secondly, don't forget to check out my brand new hardcore series. I'm into episode 1, haven't died yet, absolutely amazing. And lastly, don't forget to check out my brand new gaming channel where I play and review lots of different PC games from independent developers and others as well. Cool, let's jump into the tutorial then, folks. For materials then, let's focus on the overworld. To begin with, you'll need 500 building blocks of your choice. I have used white glass. You can use whatever you would like. It doesn't have to be glass. Any block will do. You're going to need a storage system. Now, this does just about seem to be able to keep up with the items. There's 4 hoppers, so you'll need to run those off into chests. You may find when you built the entire thing that actually this does struggle to keep up because it is over 40,000 items. I think the limit's about 9,000 per hopper. So you may need to do something a little bit smarter. What I'll plan on doing is I'll do a schematic with a shulker loader type system going on, and I'll do that in a few weeks' time. When I've done that, I'll put a link to it in the description down below. Otherwise, you can just run this into some chests. You're going to need 14 obsidian for the portal, or if you're very tight, you could just save on the corners there. But honestly, with the amount of obsidian you need in the nether, then I wouldn't worry about that. And then at the top here, you just need 16 slabs or 16 carpet. You don't want these guys burning, so I've used slabs here, and that is perfectly adequate. So that's the overworld. Let's jump into the nether. Okay, we're in the nether then. The obsidian for the one layer, for the first layer, you will need 1,508 blocks, 1508. That's for the obsidian, and that's for the entire first layer. If you then want to build additional layers, you will need 841 additional blocks of obsidian for each additional layer. At the very top, now this depends on how many layers you build. You can build 26 layers in total, but if you built less than 26, then you'll probably want to put some carpet on the top because otherwise you're going to get stuff spawning. And even if you build 26 layers, I would recommend putting carpet on the top. So you will need 667 carpet on the top. And then you also need an additional few blocks for the AFK platform, which I've got up there. You can destroy those ones. That was just to measure the distance. So you'll just need a glass platform or something like that to AFK on, and your AFK at the top. That is the materials. Just one last thing as well. You can save around about 58 blocks per layer by cutting out these blocks here. You do not need those. You can remove those on every block. So 58 layers, 58 blocks of obsidian per layer. That adds up to quite a lot if you do 26. So it's worth just keeping that one in mind. So the very first thing you need to do is choose a location for this farm, and it is incredibly important that you build it in a soul sand valley. You'll see if you hit F3, you'll see the debug menu that I have on the screen now, and you'll see in the top left hand corner it says biome soul sand valley. I'll put a red square around it so you can see where I'm looking. Make sure you build the entire thing in a soul sand valley. I've done stuff like that before and completely forgot. Then the next thing we want to do is build this farm. Now this farm is 23 blocks wide, and then it is 29 blocks long. So 23 gives us a portal width essentially of 21, which is the maximum width that we can do. So we will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And then we go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and then bring that all the way across. So we have a gap in the middle there of 3 blocks. We've gone a little bit farther, and we'll bring that up. So what we should have is a 23 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 portal. 23 by 5. We can go ahead and light that. Now, if this doesn't light, it's probably because you built it too big. I just take those out and then build this one bigger and try and light it. You see how that doesn't light? It's because it's too big. So just take that out. And like I say, 23 blocks long, 5 blocks high, that's your portal. Now, the next thing you want to do is measure the center of this thing. So if we go from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the 11th block there. So 11 blocks in from the center. There we go. That is the very middle. This is going to be the very middle portal. Okay, we're going to go out 14 that way and 14 that way. This one is the very middle. This is really, really important. So listen carefully here. Take your X and your Z coordinate. The Y coordinate shouldn't matter too much for this farm, and get it that one. So for me, it is 28 and minus 183. And then you want to use a portal calculator, and you want to convert that into the overworld, because we want to place the overworld portal in the exact right place. Otherwise, the portals on the extremes might not link correctly. So get that coordinate, go to a website, something like Mavenspun. I'll put a link to that in the description below, and convert those coordinates. So you'll see I'm in the middle of this portal. Perfect. Okay, and I'm going to get rid of those glass blocks. They were just temporary. And as I said, we can go out a maximum of 14 either side on here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We can do the same the other side as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then all we got to do is wrap all that round like so. There we go. Have I gone too far? Yes, I have. That should be good. And then all the way around there. Oops. And then same on this side. And we just need to join that up with this one. So we'll bring that round like so. And then we've got to fill the entire of this section in here. So, and the same for up here. Like so. Go ahead, fill that entire area in. And then when you fill that entire area in, we're going to follow this around as well. So essentially, these will all be individual portals, and I'll show you that when it's done. So I've gone ahead and built this thing. The sandstone and purple blocks here are just so you can make it a bit easier to count. So like if you want to pause the video or what have you, it makes it easy to count that that is 23 blocks wide. And if we go to the side here, and we'll give you another angle, this is so you can see that this side is 29 blocks long, and 5 blocks high as well over there on the side. So there you go, lots of angles to pause it on. Once you've got this built, then you can go ahead and light these portals. So there we go, and try not to accidentally transport myself to the overworld. There we go, all 23 portals are lit. If you want to extend this at this point, then you come up to the top here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then across like so, and just do exactly what you did on the layer before. And you can have a total of 26 layers, 26. Okay, I'll put that in the description below if I remember. If I forget, could someone remind me, please? Okay, so that is the nether side completed. We can now go through to the overworld, and this is where we need the portals. And I think for my portal, it was 28 and minus 183. So that's where we use the website Mavenspun to determine where it will go. So I've used the website, and my coordinates translate to 224 and minus 1464. So the portal is going to go somewhere here. So what we're going to do here, I've just used this to mark it so I don't forget. And not with the hoppers, we're going to use chests, and we're going to do a chest that side and a chest that side, and then a hopper going into each of those. Okay, perfect. Now, you can do one of two things. If you are very, very confident that you have got this right, then you can just go ahead and start to build the drop tube, which we'll do in a moment. If you just want to test this quickly, then what you could do before you start, building everything is just very quickly test this portal location. So this is exactly how it's going to look, but we're going to build it higher up. So build it, light it up, and then go through it. Now, you should go back into your farm. If we fly out of here, hopefully we won't go through. Okay, perfect. So that's the farm that we were looking at earlier. What we want to do here is test that we've got everything up and working. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through this extreme portal and make sure we end up at our farm, at our overworld location, which we have. This isn't the one I built earlier. we're going to go back through, and we always come back through in the center because we've linked it to the center one. Okay, perfect. So now we're closer to the farm, so we're going to test this extreme one as well. And this should also link to that exact same place, which it does. So that's how you test the farm. Now, if when you do those tests, you come out at a different portal or somewhere else, you've done something wrong with your portal calculation, go back and retest your portal calculations and double check them, triple check them. That's what you've done wrong there. Always worth remembering. So we'll get rid of those. And then you can take the building block of your choice. Now I'm going to use white stained glass. And we're going to go, where did I put that? Here we go. White stained glass. There we go. Get rid of the sandstone. And I'm going to build it up. I'm going to punch that one out. And then I'm going to surround this, and we can punch out the corners in a minute to save some glass. And we're just going to surround those hoppers, and the portal is going to go there, and everything's just going to drop onto there. So we can punch out that, we can punch out that, we can punch out that, and that. So you've got that pattern there, and you can just pause it if you need to. And we're going to go up 46 blocks in total. So that is block number 1. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. Now, you should be able to save a little bit of space, a few blocks off there. I've gone a few over just to really make sure that those Endermen die. But a drop height of 41 should do you. So if you do want to save a couple of building blocks, then that's how you can do it. Now, we just got to do the same for all of these. Take them all up to that height. I'm not going to show you on screen because it's literally just doing the same thing all the way up on all those glass blocks or whatever building block you have chosen. Okay, I've gone ahead and built all that up. So it's all done, and as you can see, these are the drop tubes. So now we're going to do the portal. So on the center here, we're going to do that, and you can get rid of those ones after if you want, but then 1, 2, 3, 4, like so. Oops, there we go. And I'm just getting that horribly wrong, but there we go. There's the portal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 blocks in total. And we can light that at this point if you want, and then just bring your glass up so it's level with the portal. And then we've just got one more thing to do. And there we go. Just do these 2 blocks as well. Right, then all we got to do is slab over. Any slab will do you. Just slab over the top. You don't want the skeletons burning during the daytime. So there we go. The only thing I haven't shown you yet, or I may have done and completely forgot, it's taken me a while to record this video, is the AFK spot in the nether. But that is it. So to AFK this farm, you go into the nether. And we'll go into the nether, and you want to put it at the build limit, okay, as high as you possibly can. So we've got our 26 module farm up here, and it doesn't matter if you build 1 module or 26 module, the AFK spot is in the exact same place. You don't need these glass blocks here. This was just so I could build it. They're just kind of scaffolding type blocks. If I press F3 on here, you'll see I'm at Y256, so these are at Y255, which is the build limit in the nether. So that is it. That is how you build this modular, redstoneless, and extremely effective skeleton farm. I hope you enjoyed this video. What we're going to do next is some frequently asked questions, because whenever I do a video, particularly on portal farms, I get a lot of very familiar questions, and I'm going to try and answer those for you ahead of time. Question number 1 is normally, this farm doesn't work. And the first thing I always ask people for this is, are you on a server and are you running paper or spigot? If so, then there's a good possibility this farm will work. In fact, there's a good possibility that any farm you see on YouTube will not work on paper and spigot. That's because they're highly configurable to reduce lag, and they change the underlying mechanics of Minecraft. So it's entirely possible that if you have built this on paper or spigot, it will not work. Okay, I will include a world download. What I recommend, if it's not working for you, is you download the world download, test it in single player on Java. If it's working, but it's not working on your server, speak to your server admin, see what's on there. Another very common one that I get with these type of farms is that you see the mobs spawning. It's very difficult with this farm, but you see the mobs spawning, they're going through, but you're getting no drops. Now, odds are you're on a multiplayer server. Portal farms do have one drawback if you're on a busy server. If something here goes into the overworld, and there is somebody in the overworld, but there's no one within 128 blocks of the overworld portal, then they will instantly despawn. You can AFK it on a server absolutely fine. If there's no one in the overworld, then it's going to work perfect. Stuff will go through and they'll die. If there's someone in the overworld, they need to be within 128 blocks of the portal, or if there are multiple people on your server, just one person needs to be within 128 blocks, otherwise stuff instantly despawns. It is the same for all portal-based farms. Another question I get asked a lot on servers is there's not a lot spawning. The rates are way below what I've advertised. Now, the first thing I want to say is I've used Carpet Mod to do the spawn rate, so I've done Tick Warp, and I've done Carpet Mod to accurately calculate the drops from this farm. If there is anyone else in the nether with you and they're below the ceiling, they are going to be taking up most of the mob cap and your rates will be far less. So again, it pays to try and AFK this when the server is quiet. Next one I'm bound to get asked is, can I build this on 1.18 or 1.17 or what have you? No, you've got to build this on 1.19. It will not work in older versions of Minecraft. That is because of the change that Mojang made to mob spawning in 1.19 that allows this to work. 1.19 Java only. And that's the other question I get asked a lot. Can I build this on Bedrock? Probably not. I don't think you can even get on the ceiling in Bedrock. You might be able to build it below the ceiling. Maybe. I don't know. But I've built this and tested it on Java only. If you're building it on Bedrock, let me know. I'd love to know if it does work. The last question I'm going to cover in this section is my portals aren't linking correctly. Now, this will happen. It's going to happen. I guarantee it's going to happen to one of you. And I have already covered this, but I wanted to put it in its own little chapter in YouTube to just re-emphasize it and go over it again. Once you've lit all these portals up, the first thing you want to do is base your coordinates off this center portal. So you want to do the center of here, which is that purple block, and then the center of here, which is about here. Get that center block, F3, get that coordinate, okay? And then use a website like Navenspun to translate that into your overworld coordinate. And then to test it, you go through the extreme portal. So you go through this one at the end here and the one over the far end. And if either of those don't work, you've done something wrong, okay? You can see me testing it in this video. You've seen me test it multiple times and it always brings me there, and it's going to bring me back to that center portal, which is very hard to tell. But you can see I'm having to go through quite a few to get out. So test that. The Y coordinate on this farm shouldn't particularly matter. So I'm up at what, Y129, I think, here, and this portal is linked at 105. I would try and keep it below the level, at or below the level of the lowest portal in the nether. It shouldn't matter with this farm though. But just keep that in mind if you get any weirdness with the height. The height does sometimes matter. Try not to put any portals too close by, so you can see I've got a decent gap between that one. It translates into a very big gap in the overworld. Portals are sometimes tricky to link up. Use that website, base it off the center of the lowest one there, and you should be good to go. I think that is every question that I can answer in advance. If you do have any more questions about this farm, ask them in the comments down below. You can also join my Discord. There is a Get Help channel there, and if you put your question in there with screenshots, I will do my best to help you, and the other people in the Discord will try and help you as well. Anyway, folks, if you've enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. That really means a lot to me, and consider liking the video. It lets everyone know that this is a fantastic skeleton farm that they should build. And folks, that's all I have time for today. I'm AppFielder. Goodbye.